Chiefs coming in as 3-point favorites over the Falcons with a 46.5-point over-under in this one. Obviously, Pacheco dealing with that fractured fibula. He's on IR, expected to be out 6 to 8 weeks. You had the big waiver wire guys here this week being picked up, Carson Steele and Perine, Kareem Hunt, who got signed a few days after. Obviously, Hunt didn't get activated for this game, so you don't have to at least worry about that situation, but that could come down the line. But let's start there in this Kansas City backfield with Perine and Carson Steele. Give me your thoughts kind of on these guys if you have missed sits and where you have them ranked.
Can you put me on the main screen for this? Because I need this to be on record.
Go right ahead. I got you.
Start Xavier Worthy. You can take me off the main screen. You can take me off the main screen now.
All right.
I have been in a dynasty format. Y'all have seen our content, listened to our content. I've been pretty bearish on Xavier Worthy's outlook in a dynasty perspective. It's 2 weeks. We saw one spike week of massive ceiling, and then we saw poo-poo last week. With Pacheco going to IR, look, I'm gonna come back to Worthy in just 1 second. I think Perine and Steele are going to be involved. I need to see who it's going to be. I think Steele seems to be the hotter of the two waiver wire ads, but Perine's a good pass catcher, so I do think they're both going to get worked in. I wouldn't start either of them until we really see it. If you have to, because you're the Pacheco owner and you picked up Carson Steele, sure, put him in there and hope that he falls in the end zone.
Right.
But if you pick them up because you were trying to play defense, like one of the teams in my league did, who did not have Pacheco and picked him up anyway, which was a brilliant move, then I think you can bench him and just hope it doesn't work out for him this week. But my point coming back to Worthy is, I think without Pacheco, you're going to see Mahomes get Worthy more involved on some of these, like we saw in week 1, end around screens, manufactured touches, quick out routes. I think you're going to see some of these passing touchdowns increase for Mahomes that could potentially have gone to Pacheco. I think you'll see Travis Kelce have a better week this week. So I do think the passing volume ramps up for Mahomes and the pass catchers. I would prefer not to put Steele or Perine in my lineup unless I have to. But yeah, get Xavier Worthy on the field this week.
For sure. So we'll leave that there. No need to talk about him anymore. Get him in your lineups. Let's talk about Kirk Cousins, Drake London, and Darnell Mooney on the other side of the ball. Where do you kind of have these guys as a little trio? Are they startable at this point, or you still want to see a little more?
So you had...
or I meant more so Cousins and Mooney more startable.
No,
London you probably have to start. But
London you're starting. You had Purdy at 18, didn't you?
Yeah.
I have Cousins at 18.
Okay.
I don't like it. I don't like it in prime time. I don't like it on the road. The Jets defense, I don't think is really that good. I think they just played the Patriots last night. They have not been great. They've been actually comparable to what we thought they would be. They haven't been stellar. So, and I know they played the Eagles last week, but it was just, to me, it was like Kirk Cousins. I don't want to go there. I don't like it. I think Chris Jones is a game wrecker. I think the Chiefs win this game and they win it big.
Yeah, pressure in Kirk Cousins' face, man, is not a good thing.
It's hard. The offensive line's not great. Like Bijan's involvement has been fantastic, but he hasn't gotten in the end zone yet.
Right.
And I think this is a week where Bijan could score, which takes unless it's a passing touchdown. But I do think this is a rushing touchdown week for Bijan. 0 touchdowns on the season. So it's just, again, I think I'm not going to say it was a fluke because it was an incredible drive and Drake London made one hell of a catch and it was a great throw. But I think the Eagles kind of fell apart. You know what I mean? Like, I think they kind of lost the game more so than the Falcons won it.
Barkley dropped the ball. I mean, we wouldn't even seen that drive. Yeah, it was in the bag. It was wide open.
Having this conversation. Yeah. So, I'm lower on Cousins this week. I like Kansas City at home. It's primetime Captain Kirk, and I can see a lot of ways that it fails. I can see more ways that it fails than the ways that it goes right. So
there you go.
I'm personally lower on Cousins this week.
Okay. I have Kirk and Purdy back to back. Like I mentioned, Kirk at 17, Purdy at 18. Just again, a lot of question marks there. I do have London, at wide receiver 20, but I do have Neighbors, even Evans, who I think is not in a great matchup going up against Pat Surtain ahead of him. I want to see more. I have like Tank Dell, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, right behind him, even though I think George Pickens might have a big week this week. He's just waiting to bust out, but we'll get into that. I don't even think we have that game, but that's a nice little play there as well. So that's where I'm at with those guys. Mooney's I still have as a sit as well too. Let's just see kind of what happens there. But I still think, this offense should be running through Bijan, Pitts, and London. That's where they've invested, and that's where they should be doing it. So we, of course, we're starting Mahomes, we're starting Rice, we're starting Kelsey, Bijan, Pitts, like we talked about, and then Watson, Juju, McLeod, Algier. I mean, I have those guys as sits.
Yep, agreed.
Right.